What makes one get into collecting dolls? Me personally, I don't like them because there's too many eyes looking
Yes,
at you all
yeah.
the time, you know?
For me, I think I was always fascinated with the concept of miniaturization, that you would take a full-size thing and miniaturize it, but you would take it out of context as well. So that it's when you make it miniature, it's not an exact duplicate, but it's more as an artist's representation of of what that full thing was. Yeah, and that's in the case you can see in some of these dolls, like this thing, these two over here. They're supposed to be full-size women. As you can see, she's this is by F&B, and she has as you can see, she has high-heeled feet and full-size figure and all like that, but still got a little bit of a baby face. She's from the 1950s, and that's what they did because they didn't want to go all the way and give her a full woman's face. That didn't happen until Barbie. I always say the dolls too represent the history of man, because when you look at them, they are of their time. The material they're made out of. She's made out of a vinyl. She's made out of more of a hard plastic. The clothes and everything like that refer go back to the time. So they represent the time that they're in the period of mankind. Yeah. So
Let's see what you got here.
okay, so this is just the downstairs collection. This is kind of the overflow. These are the big collections upstairs. I'll take you up there. These four are Mr. Evelons. And these are called mid-century modern fashion dolls. A very popular thing in the doll world for collectors, and as are some of those up there. And she's a Saucy Walker from 1962.
Does she actually walk?
Did you say a saucy walker?
That's what she's called, Saucy Walker. You can see it; it's right there.
Is there a button you press behind it and it walks?
No, I think it would. I think the idea was you would hold the hand; it would sort of walk. The earlier versions of it did. This is from '62 when they were coming up with the full-size dolls that look like actual kids. And I don't know if this one actually does that or not. I had a fascination of dolls going back to even when I was a kid. I actually used to play with dolls when I was a kid with some of the girls up the street, all over Perkins Street.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I sort of got away from it, and back then when I was in college, I rediscovered it again when I was in my parents' other home. They had a small house in Rumson they were going to flip, and I was staying there when I was going to college, and they had a bunch of dolls there. I said, these are really interesting, and so I still have it.
Where are we going now?
Upstairs.
And you have more dolls upstairs?
Oh, that's a big collection. Yeah.
So these down here are just for show, and then upstairs is like your private stash?
Yes. The ones downstairs are. Basically just like the overflow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I'm a widower. And my wife, if my wife were alive, I doubt if those dolls would be downstairs.
I thought you said she enjoyed your collection.
She does, but she enjoyed them up in the room.
Oh yeah.
This is the main collection.
This is where the magic happens, right here.
Yeah. I got a few more.
What do you think, Mark? Would you redecorate your place like this?
George, you should charge these dolls rent.
I should. Falls back. She's actually a walker from 1921.
A walker?
Yeah. Well, again.
Which one?
This one right there. It's built as they sold it as a walker back in 1921. It has a wooden body, and theoretically, if you held it, its feet would shuffle. Now this one here is a talker, except she doesn't talk right now. But
You got a walker and a talker?
I have several talkers. They're all talkers. It sold for $30 back in 1929, a lot of money. And the way it talks is it has an Edison cylinder in the back with a glory horn, and you put the Edison cylinder and you would crank it, and it was supposed to speak.
Yeah, Edison had some great talking dolls, but there was so much mechanics inside them that they were like big metal boxes with a little doll head on top.
Yeah, this was a lot simplified, but yeah. Here we go.
No, this is the talker. That's the walker.
This
one's the walker. Look at the eyes of this walker. There's something
Yes.
something not quite right in those eyes. Wouldn't you agree, sir? Yes, indeed I would. What about you, man? Not quite right. Not quite right at all.
You would put an Edison type cylinder. I don't have one
You mean like a wax cylinder like they used to put on the phonographs?
Right, right. It still looks like that, but just apparently it's a little shorter because my Edison cylinder doesn't fit in here.
Yeah, that would be too big for there.
And then you put it has a needle there. You just put the needle down like that, and then you would turn this thing. Yeah, you would turn this. It just obviously doesn't turn too well anymore, but yeah.
So you'd crank her up, or
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, she got a crank right here, and you would turn this, and this crank. Obviously, there's a problem with the cranking mechanism, but the doll is almost 100 years old. So. But yeah, and
we'll forgive her.
Yeah, and you turn it, and then there's a she's got a horn right here. I get the feeling that all these dolls know each other. They all like each other. They all work well together. So,
As far as you know.
as far as I know. Of course, I was speaking of, not necessarily haunted, but from a TV show. That's Talking Tina down there.
This one down here?
Yep, that's Talking
The
Tina.
famous Talking Tina?
Yep, yep.
You remember what she said to Telly Savalas in the Twilight Zone?
I'm gonna kill you.
My name is Talking Tina, and I'm going to kill you.
It looks like she's ready to kill now.
Yeah.
You actually made those?
They did, yeah. That was made by Vogue called Briquette. They were red and blonde. That happened to be blonde. The one used the Savalas was red. But, and this over here is, these are all mid-century modern fashion dolls. Again, more Miss Revlons and Adidas and all the up stereo. And also all the accessories too. These dolls came with all these accessories, including these little bras.
Hey, be careful with that.
Yeah,
buddy.
and girdles, stockings. I mean, all sorts of stuff. All these incredible accessories.
The under things.
Yeah. And two of them got to be rebuilt, of course. And then there's more on the bottom. And the one on the bottom down there has a fur coat. She's supposed to be Alice Swan, one of the champagne ladies from Florence Hall. This is Walking Wanda, she's never played with, and she
How
has
do you know she was never played with? Did you buy her new?
Yeah, not new, but I found there's a woman that had a doll collection more than this. I mean, this is like nothing compared to what she had, and she had stuff stocked in boxes. So I got this thing from her in the box and everything. And you had these stoppers, and you would wind it up, and the doll would go toot 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 like that. And
Oh wow!
Yeah. And there's another one here called Whitney, and she walked and talked. She had a record in her. And this one also talks too, although she needs her arm, but now they also fell off. But and this one
George,
here, is like,
a lot of these are really antiques. Is there value to a collection like this?
there was. This is why I have a lot of these dolls, is because the prices fell down so much that when I started going to, after my wife died, I had a chance to really go to shows again. The prices had dropped so much, I could pick up things for $50, $60, things that would have sold for $300 only 20 years ago. So there was a value for these things. I'm not too sure. I mean, probably the average price of some of this stuff, if you were to average out, maybe $20 a piece, if that much. Some of these might go for more. She might go for like $300, but like I say, the average price has been dropping. Now, of course, given 20 more years,
Yeah.
because part of the problem is that girls basically got out of playing with dolls, which is really a shame, because dolls teach people how to interact with people.
Mm-hmm.
They do teach you human skills. And unfortunately, even some of the girls got out of that. But who knows, as more guys get into this, and I do see more guys getting into this, and more women come back into it, the prices will come back up again.
George, they're all looking at me.
I know.
They're all looking, wherever they go, all the eyes are on me.
Come here at night. I even use it as a storefront thing.
George, you say that none of these dolls ever come to life, or
Not that I've seen.
leave this room. Now, I got to tell you, Mark, wouldn't you say with our experience with haunted dolls, I mean, it seems like everyone we see on Paranormal Caught
know.
on Camera
Yeah,
is
yeah.
haunted.
Everyone's moving
So-
by itself.
Is it just the law of averages that if you concentrate so many of these dolls in one place that you're sure to at least get some haunted dolls?
You know, I would have thought
Come on,
so.
George.
I would have thought so, but yet I've never had any experience with these dolls at all. They all seem to be very happy and friendly, and just they seem to enjoy the room. And so I've never seen it have any, and I think they came from owners who were happy too. But they all are like between 50 and 100 years old. So one of the things I do is that door is always open. This way they always hear, and I come up here a lot. This way they always hear human voices.
You never hear the little patter of little feet?
No.
Mr. Marbles? Is that you?
No.
Now, have you ever had any sort of paranormal investigations done here?
No.
You never tried to take any EVP readings or anything like that to see if
I did.
any of these dolls have some sort of spiritual presence attached to
I've
them?
tried it a few times, and I haven't got anything out of it. Now, of course, if something shows up on this, that'll be quite interesting. But yeah, a little hand going hi. The only thing I ever had was once or twice after my wife died, a blue light was in the hallway there, but I don't think it was the dolls. I think it was just her just coming through.
This hallway over here?
Yeah. I saw blue light.
Like a ball?
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure that was her. Now, when she was
Oh,
alive,
so you feel that the light was the spirit of your wife,
yeah,
perhaps?
yeah.
And this was right after she died?
Yeah. Now, when she was alive, we had a lot of ghosts in this place. I mean, there were a lot of things happening, but not the dolls. It was downstairs where she was. Mm-hmm. And we used to have the smoking man come through. That was her father. You would smell cigarette smoke out of nowhere with the windows closed. And also, there was other spells that would go through in and out. And she goes, yeah, that's my father, that's my mother. And yeah, even I smell this stuff. So,
Huh.
yeah. And there was, when we were still sleeping upstairs here, but before the disease, when she could still actually get up, which happened after a while, she couldn't even get up at all. But when we were still sleeping upstairs, there were once or twice when I woke up and there was a ghost standing in the corner over, not in this room, but in that other room over there. And I put on my glasses and said, hi, how are you? Who are you? And he just walked away. So I asked her about it, and she goes, yeah, that was a friend of hers that had died years ago. Keep an eye on her. You would think with all the old stuff I have in this house, and there's a lot of old stuff,
Yeah.
you would think a spirit would be attached to some of it.
Yeah.
And maybe they are, but they're friendly, they just keep quiet, they don't really bother anybody. But I've never noticed anything with these dolls that I've seen. And I've been here at night, I've been here with the lights off. Nothing. I mean, I've been downstairs there, the sound.
Well, I
off
suppose
listening.
that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if they all secretly
yeah.
got together and decided we're going to conspire, we're not really happy with the way George is decorating this place, and then one night they all decided to band together and come visit you in your bedroom, that would probably not be a good thing, right?
Well, if they got some paintbrushes and hammers and everything, I'll gladly put them to work. I mean,
They probably work cheap.
actually, when I was at the paranormal thing in Woodbridge, I spoke to one of the Dead Files, Amy Allen.
Uh-huh.
And I spoke to her about this. She goes, well, just make sure that dolls know that there's a human voice in the house, that there's a human in charge.
Oh, so you're like the puppet master.
Yes.
The doll master.
Doll master, yeah.